Hey guys, this is Mike with Open It and Play. We're going to be looking at the Variable Action Heroes One Piece Nami figure today. This is a character that I know next to nothing about. I have lived in Japan for a long time, and One Piece has kind of crested in popularity and fallen in popularity during the time I've been here. But honestly, I barely know anything about this character or the story. I had students in the past who were big fans of it, so they tried to explain the story to me or told me about the story. But I don't know, sometimes the Japanese stories, whether it's manga or anime, they seem to go kind of like one step further than I can quite grasp. Like, for example, Doraemon, you've got the cat that can talk, so we have things like, Heathcliff and Garfield. That's fair enough. It's a talking cat, but then also no, he's actually a robot cat. Then like, okay, he's a talking robot cat. But also he can come from the future. He has a time travel machine. Wait. He's got time travel. Also, he can open a dimensional portal in his stomach and get anything and everything he wants. It's just like, okay, sorry, you kind of lost me on that one, but anyway, with One Piece, I guess it's a bunch of young people who want to be pirates but aren't really pirates, and they're sort of on a journey to become pirates. But some of them have like superpowers, whether they're like spiritual, supernatural, I don't know, magic or mutations or something, but the guy monkey Luffy or Luffy monkey or something like that, he can like stretch like Mr. Fantastic or Plastic Man, but I think he gets that power from eating the fruit of a tree. But then I guess the other characters don't get that power when they eat it, so I can't really understand. Anyways, we'll put her off to the side for now, and we'll take a look at the accessories real quick. So in this box, we do have a very good spread of accessories. You've got 3 alternate faces. So you pop off the hair and the figure, the front of the figure, and then you can pop off the face and you can replace it with these. So we've got this kind of calm face, this kind of yelling face, and this kind of winking face. And as always, these manga type aesthetics really do not appeal to me, but that's the face of the figure there. Comes on the body. Okay, and then also we've got a lot of hand options. So 2 kind of gripping hands to hold her staff, I guess it is, and 2 kind of open hands here, and then these are kind of a relaxed open hand, and then sort of an okay and a pointing hand. So, and then you also have 4 effect pieces. You got kind of like a little electricity ball, which I think might go at the end, and then some static to go with that, some little electrostatic. And then you have like a smoky, wispy thing, and a smoky, wispy thing that also slides onto the staff. But I've opened the figure, but I haven't gotten all of these out, so I'm probably going to make a mess here. Let's take a look at some of these pieces. Let's start with the heads, if I can get these out. So here's that first one. Sorry, I'll try to set this. You can get a good look at her expression there. It's a real cutie pie if you like that sort of thing, but that is not my style. Okay, and that's kind of the smiley, and this is the really not threatening, a little bit angry, looks like a 3-year-old kind of going. Okay, and then if we look at the hands, those top 2, oops, I do want to stress again, this is a re-release, so hopefully my review here gives everybody a little bit of a cleaner video than the past videos done on this figure. The past videos are, of course, from a long time back. Oh, she's got a little bit of a gap between her fingers there. That's interesting. But yeah, the last figures that I saw reviews of for this, they are really old by now, so the quality in video has changed so much in that amount of time. It's like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that. Okay, and you do have a little bit of paint on these fingers. They are painted with some pink fingernail polish. Okay, and then the two other open hands, the fingers together. Okay, and the last ones are the gripping hands, and I believe that these are specifically for that staff. Yeah, they do have like a really rounded appearance. Is that in focus? I think it is. Yeah. So, and you can see they kind of stick on like a lot of Japanese figures. They have a lot of Japanese figures parts, I should say. They have the little hole, and then you just pop that onto the very easy to break joint in the arm. Here is her staff. So I'm going to refocus that. Here's her staff. That's kind of a metallic blue color. It does have a very nice shine to it. And then if we set it up with the effects, let's go with the electrical effect first. So you have a bit of a, ring here, you can see. So I guess we slide that on, or slide that around. It actually sort of just kind of grips, on. And then this part actually has a hole in it, so we can plug it into that hole. But it does look like it's going to be a very tight fit. Does it go on the other side? Okay, sorry, it goes on the other side. I'm a fool, I don't know this character, so I didn't realize it's supposed to go on one side of the stick, and I think the other side of the stick is slightly thicker, maybe. But it seems to fit on this end, but this end seems to be too. This end seems to be too. Oh my God, what happened? This end seems to be too thick, so it goes kind of like that. I'll scoot it up a little bit here. Kind of like that. Zzz. Sorry, it's out of focus. It's kind of hard to focus on since it's a narrow thing. And if we try these smoke effects will go with, let's see, how do they work? It's going to be the same kind of thing, probably. No, actually this one, it has a hole on it, and this has a hole on it, so we're going to slide. Okay. They sort of fit together like this. It's like we're working with a Lego. And it's a pretty tight fit. So you might want to heat it up before you do this. You might scratch the paint off, but I haven't scratched the paint off, but I would prefer to have that heated up just a little bit before I mess with it. Okay, it's kind of like this. I could probably line it up better, but that gives you some idea. Okay, if you twist it, I'm pretty sure it lines up better. I'm just spooked I'm gonna ruin the paint job. Okay, maybe like, well, you know what? I can't really get it better. I thought I could get it on there a bit better, but yeah, it's very similar to what I just showed you before. So, looks like at some angles you're going to see the staff through more. Okay, anyways, that's okay for the accessories. Let's move on to the figure itself. Thank you, Banshee. Just trying to sabotage my review here. Okay, if we get her into focus, and we'll try to set this up so it's locked. Okay, so I did take off the plastic parts already. This figure did have some plastic in between the legs and the hips and the hair. That's just to prevent the paint from spreading. So let's try to get her better in focus. So you can see she's really tall and lanky. She does have heels, so that is one of the reasons why she stands so tall. But if you take her down to size, if you put on, like, for example, Marvel Legends flat feet, then she's kind of like a tall female. She's not exactly in scale with Marvel Legends, but you can do it if she's a taller female. So I honestly thought about making some kind of Mary Jane with her, or possibly using her for part of my Shauna the She-Devil custom, but I don't know if I'm going to use her for that. I think I might wait. And the news came out today. The Shauna the She-Devil figure is actually coming soon. So it's kind of ironic, the timing of that. It's like I just bought this thing and now they've revealed the news that it's coming out soon, the real figure is. But okay, let's look at her articulation. So I wanted to show you a little bit how you take this off. So pop this off and then you can pop the face off. It comes off pretty easily, but her head is on a kind of a ball joint, but it's sort of like a dumbbell. I can't exactly show you deep inside there, but if I could, you can see kind of like a stick inside there, or you would see a little bit of a stick inside there, and then it has sort of a two-way plug-in piece. One part attaches to the back of her head, one part attaches to the face. And then her neck is on a bowl hinge too, so she can look down that far, and she can barely look up at all. She can barely look to the side because the hair gets in the way, but if you move the hair a lot, you can kind of finagle it into other poses. Oh boy, that hair does not want to move back. There we go. Sorry, that hook part of her hair really catches in her joint, so you can get her to look around a little bit, but it is hard to keep her looking straight ahead. And if you do it too much, you do start to see a bit of a gap. But okay, and then her arms, she has butterfly joints that will get you quite far ahead, a little bit back, and then she has the ball joint at the shoulder. Her arms will come out to here, and you can twist this part, but like with a lot of Japanese style figures, it is hard to twist this and this separately. You can do it, you just kind of have to really mess with it. So I'm probably going to skip that part, but this part will actually swivel too, but it's pretty tough to get it to do unless I try to take apart the figure a bit. But it is meant to turn. It's just she's usually going to turn here instead of here. Okay, and then you can see she has a single joint, but it's a ball joint. And then that ball joint allows her to go pretty far up. And again, that can swivel here and it can swivel here. But when you swivel either of those places, it may get you into some trouble. So it'll be hard to line up the parts with her joint to straighten out her arm. And then her wrists have this little bitty, let's see if I can get that really close up. Her wrists have this little bitty, I don't know, kind of like a hook or a spike. That part's kind of annoying. It reminds me of the Marvel Legends Hulk elbow, but It doesn't get in the way too bad because this does have a very good range for the wrist, and it does swivel up here and it does swivel down here, just like it looks. But again, if you line it up the wrong way, you can see how that might get in the way. Okay, and then at the diaphragm joint, she can bend down that far. Sorry. She can bend down that far, and she can bend back. Whoa! I just broke her apart. She pops off easily because these ball joints hook relatively gently into the figure. Hold on just a second. I'll see if I can pop her back on easily. I didn't mean for that to happen. Sorry, Nami. Okay, you know what? I think I have to play with it just to get it to stick together. Okay. She should be okay now. But yeah, she can go back, but you gotta watch it. It might pop off her other ball joint at the waist. So, okay, back that far. It's not a whole lot. And she can turn almost zero. Sorry. No real turning for the diaphragm joint, which stinks. Okay, and then her waist joint, as we just saw, it comes apart easily, but I'm afraid that with that waist joint, you can't really do much with it. It doesn't really twist. This is a really soft plastic. It's almost like a vinyl cover. You can kind of see it's sort of bunched up there, and it even has a crease. I think that's from the way it was in the plastic or in the package. And it kind of flares out here because it was in that position for a long time. But yeah, so she's got on her pants, but man, they are low riders, huh? So showing a lot of midriff, and then her legs will go up, but you can't get them up high. I'm scared to do this because I'm not familiar with these kind of figures. Her knee joint will get you back that far, even though it's a single joint. There is some twist at the top of her leg. It does swivel inside there, and then her ankles will twist also here or swivel, and she does have a ball joint, so they will also swivel at that joint for a little bit of ankle pivot. And then she does have a little tiny joint. Sorry, it's not focusing. She does have a little tiny joint at the toe. So, but yeah, I think her posability is pretty good, but she is not really designed as an action figure, despite being called variable action hero. It's more of a pose it and leave it be for a long time. Oh my god, that's so out of focus. Sorry. So you can pose her into some positions, but it is kind of like a statue compared to a lot of the figures that I have. I think that this figure kind of speaks for itself. If you're a big Nami fan or a big One Piece fan, then this is probably a very good figure to pick up. If you are like me, you're picking it up for customizing reasons, try to repurpose it for something that fits with your Marvel Legends or other figures at the similar scale. But yeah, this figure is kind of tall. It's just I'm gonna take these feet off, and I'm gonna replace it with some Marvel Legends feet. So then she'll stand about even with the average male figure. So I'm sorry, I don't have my tape measure. I can't give you a good measurement of her. I'm gonna check one thing real fast. I have something in here. I do have something in here. Okay, maybe we can see her. I'm sorry, everybody that's in the States. It's not gonna be the best measurement, but she stands almost 17, just a little bit over 17 centimeters. 17 1/4 centimeters at this pose. But yeah, you could take her down a little bit the way that I'm going to if you cut off more than a centimeter from this. So by the time I customize her, she's going to be around 16 centimeters. So okay, anyway, thank you for checking out this review. I hope it's helpful to people who are interested in this figure, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.